I feel like the most unpredictable trend on the internet right now is what children would like to watch on YouTube. One month they were into Skibidi Toilet and the Amazing Digital Circus, and the next month they were into a new thing. And it's not just a couple of kids, it's a big horde of kids that makes any video about a certain media rack up 1 million views in just a day. And that big media for children has now turned to Sprunki, a colorful game that has since met its end. Usually in children's entertainment, when a piece of media gets popular, it gets turned into a series or a toy. But in the case of Sprunki, it's like an entirely new situation on the internet where its creator lost control of their creation's popularity. A creation that is not tied to its inventor, separated and removed, where most kids that liked Sprunki probably don't even know who created Sprunki in the first place. In this video, we will cover how a slightly innocent beatboxing game ended up as a center of controversy in regards to cancel culture, sexual exploitation, and the dangerous threats that forced the creator to end their creation for good. Now, I am very confident that a large percentage of people watching this video have little understanding of what Sprunki even is. Heck, if you knew about Sprunki just now, you wouldn't even know that it was popular among children, especially on YouTube. Well, on August 26, 2024, Sprunki was made by a 15-year-old user under the name NyankoBFLOL, or Nyanko for short. The game was an Incredibox creation. Incredibox is a music game that lets you customize characters and their noise. Click on a character and they would make a noise, hence the game being centered around beatboxing. However, less than a month and Sprunki was taken down on the website where it was originally posted due to gore content being shown. You see, Nyanko was the typical kid on the internet who had way too much internet usage, a very creative kid who was influenced by a few questionable media. Nyanko also didn't have much going on for him, so he was only able to use free assets from Incredibox, which is why the design of Sprunki is probably making you question the standard of viral internet content nowadays. After trying again to upload the game, Nyanko published the game in Korea so that it wouldn't get reported due to its gore content. This one move essentially made Sprunki accessible to most users on the internet. As it turns out, simple and colorful designs plus the horror aspect are pretty popular among children. Garden of Banban, Poppy's Playtime, and even Five Nights at Freddy's feature colorful characters with simple designs that possess a background that children are familiar with and have a horror aspect. Games such as Granny were also popular among children because of the thrill of horror games. Plus, content that would be presumed pretty disturbing has become desensitized to children, so they are as fascinated with content as they are scared of it. And with children's content, YouTubers gassing up the game and doing a 180 and basing their entire channel around the Sprunki, the mod has become more popular than Incredibox itself. But as time passed, the same thing that made Sprunki popular has also made it its worst aspect. Remember when I said that children entertainers were the ones that were gassing the game up? Turns out a lot of them are major creeps. Even just searching up Sprunki on YouTube, there is a good chance that you would spot a video that sexualizes these characters and puts them into suggestive scenarios and gestures. We are talking about a game created by a 15-year-old and popular among children being sexualized. There are a lot of offenders who have made a lot of inappropriate Sprunki videos, one of them being Benji X Scarlet, a mostly children's content YouTuber before dedicating their entire channel to Sprunki. And for some reason, a switch was flipped inside their mind to start making GAT Sprunki videos. Honestly, a really great use of talent is Slime Cat uses its animating skills to make suggestive Sprunki videos. But by far the worst offender is Anikad, who uses their artistic abilities to make cool Sprunki videos. Even at the start of the YouTube channel, they have been practically making suggestive videos of a bunch of content that is related to children's entertainment. Ain't that just a bit weird? And there are a bunch of other examples of inappropriate Sprunki content. The point is that Sprunki is experiencing what many on the internet refer to as being exploited by content farms, or YouTube channels only making low quality and even attention baiting videos of Sprunki to take advantage of its recent popularity. But it doesn't mean that all content farms create inappropriate content. Some simply create Sprunki videos to entertain and garner attention from children. However, because of this influx of inappropriate and low quality content on Sprunki, plus Spunky itself looking like this and possessing gore content, much of the reception towards Spunky on the internet has been negative. If we think about it, children's media becoming popular suddenly, sometimes it is natural to just hate something popular because they just don't understand how it is so popular. Or maybe you just don't like Spunky just because it's inappropriate gore content and just lazy designs. But Spunky started garnering hate on the internet, much of that hate going towards its creator. You see, Nyanko made Spunky not in the sense of garnering fame, but to just have fun, trying to experiment with his passion by making characters by himself, trying to integrate aspects that he was interested in, and just wanting to make something that he was satisfied with. However, after this version of Spunky garnered attention with multiple users uploading Spunky onto other websites, Nyanko getting so much attention from his work should be a net positive gain for him, right? He is the creator of one of the most popular pieces of children's media right now, potentially generating revenue through merchandise and toys at the age of just 15, practically making him a celebrity and creating a cult following around his creations. But as it turns out, that was quite the opposite. After Spunky went viral, his internet life quite frankly went down into a spiral of harassment, hacking, and threats to the point where his life was potentially in danger because of just one user. You see, Spunky wasn't like a skibidi toilet where it was exclusive to its creator, whereas for a time, Spunky content was only accessible through Nyanko's page and it was the sole reason that it was viral. Spunky was duplicated among other websites and Spunky content went viral because YouTubers making videos about the game. In fact, Nyanko didn't really make much content on Spunky. Even Spunky YouTubers are more popular than Nyanko himself. That said, however, when Spunky started attracting hate, Nyanko was still known as its creator. After he started getting negative rhetoric towards him, Nyanko would delete Spunky off of Korea, but that wasn't enough to deter the popularity of Spunky. At the same time, Nyanko started being targeted by an individual posing as the Roblox commentary YouTuber Parlo. This user would start threatening Nyanko on his YouTube channel. That wasn't the first time that the user has been targeting YouTubers, but their attacks on Nyanko have definitely been the most dangerous of their actions. Nyanko's Scratch account would be hacked, which the user would claim responsibility for. The user would also hack Nyanko's Discord and started talking to people while changing the account's profile to once again take credit and bring attention to his name. The user would also start doxing and hacking his devices and recording audio and imagery of Nyanko, which leads to a possibility of this information being questionable as the user has since gone silent and did not even reveal the doxed information to its fullest, with any sort of mention of his address not being present, giving it a possibility of the information just being fabricated. But it still doesn't make this user just a person desperate for attention. They have hacked Nyanko's accounts before and have made legitimately concerning threats. However, since the user only targets low-profile communities, it's safe to say that they only focus on vulnerable accounts that can easily hack with the lack of security the accounts possess. So I am 100% doubtful that this user has any leak of Nyanko's actual personal information besides his password and email addresses. Besides that, Nyanko has also been impersonated several times, leading Nyanko to completely get rid of Spunky from his identity and ending the project altogether. Just a reminder again that all of this was happening while he was still 15. It's also pretty much clear that the user responsible for the hacking is either a kid or an incredibly immature person. When children are exposed to stuff like weaponry or war, they don't understand the magnitude of the entire concept. All they perceive is a bunch of cool mechanical science and badass scenes while not really ingesting the idea that life is a fragile thing and that death is permanent. But no, you can just respond, bro. Same thing goes for history, especially when children are exposed to content that glorifies a side of an idea. They aren't really aware of the opposition, or better yet, they understand that there is an opposition, yet they can use that conflict and turn it into an argument or a disagreement used to gain people's attention through anger and continuing to gain the attention of people through saying doing bad stuff. Almost every single aspect of this situation has been dictated by the lack of parental control. I always preach this shit at any possible chance I get in my videos, but giving a child a device that they have an unlimited range of knowledge on the internet without the proper understanding of consuming that knowledge would be considered neglectful and dangerous. Not only are you replacing the parental bond of your children with a captivating, addictive array of light, it's not healthy for your children at all. Just because your child is asking for attention from you does not mean that you are allowed to distract them with a mobile device. Not only do they rely on the internet for entertainment, but also develop a warped perception of reality as they perceive content that they are given by algorithms. They don't comprehend reality and fiction. It's like as a kid believing that you can be Spider-Man if you get bitten by spiders. Children are also easily influenced influenced because of their lack of experience. They don't know shit. Give them a bunch of corn, now corn is normal to them, even though in reality it should not be normal. It's pretty much what is happening recently. Remember all of the, the Fortnite cat trends back then, or just recently all the inappropriate imagery you see to Sprunki? Children just don't understand that what they're saying are sexual gestures and have a deeper psychological effect. All they process is content, possibly a normal thing. I have a cousin that he doesn't even understand why it's such a bad thing or why it's really offensive. He just understands that that's history and that's something that's, I guess, cool to him. He finds fascinating. That's why he does that, to show his interest. This is why kids just don't understand everything fully when they see something new on the internet. They're not given a full context. They're probably given just a clip of, I don't know, Hitler doing a speech and glorifying that speech, and they're attracted to that idea without fully knowing the context of the entire situation. This is when children's entertainers go unchecked. It's pretty much clear that most content creators, especially children's entertainers, prioritize profitability over anything else. They're already selling their integrity away by doing toy reviews just to gain the attention of children, and might as well just exploit that attention. Once again, children are the most active user base on YouTube, so catering to their interest is the same thing as establishing a Starbucks near caffeine addicts. Children process imagery with brighter colors as more captivating. That's why you see a lot of children's content and their thumbnails and recent trends being bright, colorful characters or imagery. And once these creators attract the attention of these children, they can basically just show these kids whatever they want. All they had to do was just base it around a character that these kids like. Elsa getting herpes, Sprunki characters getting impaled by a Vietnamese booby trap, Skibidi Toilet. Actually, that franchise is pretty much already inappropriate for children. Sprunki is also another example of unregulated behavior. Nyanko is an internet user that has been exposed to the internet since a very young age. So along the way, they most likely got interested in music, game creation, gore, creepypastas, the typical stuff that kids get into nowadays. While it wasn't Nyanko's intention for the game to be made for children, it was made in a way where it was captivating for children. Bright colors, funny, cool noises, a simple yet intriguing design, and then BAM! Gore content for children. Actually, gore content isn't made for anyone in any degree. So maybe Nyanko should have just made sure that his lack of intuitive and simple design wasn't to be captivating for children, but how would he know? But what he should have known is cybersecurity. Man, if only I was relevant enough and I could actually put a cybersecurity promo cutaway in this part. This isn't just for children either, but for anyone that doesn't possess much internet literacy, especially when it comes to protecting their information and accounts. So that's a piece of advice. Please just put any fucking authenticator process in your account. Just please protect yourself. From making a game out of passion to practically winning a lottery with the game blowing up in popularity, only for the fortune to turn out to be misfortune, ridiculed, harassed, threatened, and even attacked, taken advantage of by users have resulted in Nyanko's life being at risk by just making a music beatbox game. I commend Nyanko's persistence to continue going by Nyanko, but with the potential risk of having his and his family's lives being at danger, it's safe to say that he should take a step back, not just from Sprunki, but the internet.